Let's get into a conversation today. This is a very interesting conversation that we're about to have. And for me, it's really about, the state of black media and the future of it and what does this mean. And for me, black media is just speaking on media that's owned by the culture, media that's controlled by the culture. You feel me? It ain't, black media. It's just media. And there's rules to media that you got to follow. Now, I particularly find this interesting because, Diddy resigned as chairman, which, of course, I seen coming. He was going to have to resign in order to save the company, which is Revolt. Revolt starts to lose sponsors because of this. Revolt has already been losing sponsors. A lot of people don't know this, and not just like losing sponsors because they're like a bad company, but I mean like Revolt has actually been a little radical in their approach when it comes to the way that they allow certain shows to be unapologetic sometimes, right? If you go back to the Kanye West incident, right? Kanye was, allowed to be able to do that interview on Drink Champs, and then they put that interview out, and then everybody came for their neck and they dropped the interview. So black media was bullied at that moment, right, to, cancel that episode. And that also not only hurt, I believe, the state of black media, right? It also was a moment where Revolt was trying to be bold, and it was what's bro from what's his name? From Drink Champs, what's his name? Nori. Yeah, it was Nori that decided that he didn't want to have the episode up. He was getting too much scrutiny. The one with Kanye West. And I know that Revolt personally has also, got in trouble for having people like Farrakhan broadcasting on there. When no other black network, would allow Farrakhan to be broadcasted during the time where everybody was taking the shots and Farrakhan was telling people during the Criterion, don't take it, right? And they have allowed a lot of unapologetic voices such as Rizza Islam, such as myself, Shaka Bars, you see EYL has a show. So Revolt has played, I think, a pivotal role, even with the Revolt Summits throughout the year, and trying to do a thing for the culture. And one thing I can say about Revolt, and shout out to Dion, shout out to the Tavio, the CEO over there. They are the what I've seen to be the most blackest from the top to bottom. And it's just me getting the insight, right? Me looking at it from top to bottom, I've seen like Revolt hires nothing but black people for the most part that I've seen. And I know that there's Griot out there. There's a few other black-owned places, but the idea of creating a black business is to hire black in the first place so that you can create more jobs. That creates a circular economy, right? And I think that that's the one thing that I can say, that when it comes to Revolt that they've done particularly different than any other organization that I've seen that claim to be black. But once you get inside the organization, you see nothing but white people working there. Right. And it's like, so I'm talking about actually only dealing with black people. I'm talking about black hairstylists, dressers, presidents of shows, people who run the PR. Every single aspect of it has been black. So this is important because when I was young, I was always taught that, support the business if it's black owned or black people benefit from it. Right. So as we talk about black business, it's important in the history. And in this moment in time, we know how to, differentiate the two. Right. So and black media is important because without it, we have no spaces to do any narration. Right. We have no spaces and we don't have enough. Like we at this moment in time where it's like, look at the way the news is being portrayed during the war with Palestine, right, and Israel, right? When you have people who interests are aligned with the narration of the media, meaning that they control the stories, the way they go, what get published, what get pushed, then it allows that to be a tool that they can utilize in the war, right? And so black media is important for a multitude of reasons because it literally shapes reality. Now, I don't agree with a lot of shows on on Revolt, but the reason that a lot of those shows on there, a lot of people don't know is because they wouldn't get the funding unless they have those shows on there. right? There ain't nobody that's going to just fund black media to put out great information and education and radical revolution, and it don't work like that. You know what I'm saying? These people want attachment to the culture, and they will pay for that attachment, but a lot of times they're only doing it in the form of media, and if it hits these certain diversity quotas, right? So you may see a Jason Lee show because there's an LGBT angle there, right? You know what I'm saying? You got the Carisha show, that's gossip and entertainment, where De Leon Tequila and, you know, Ciroc can heavily advertise on that and or sponsor it as well. So all of these things are important to note when you're looking at how black media is made. These things don't just happen in a vacuum, right? So a lot of that was because Diddy was able to establish those relationships. So this is why when that first happened, my first thought was like, I wonder if this is going to, you know, how is it going to affect Revolt? That was my first thought. How is this going to affect Revolt? Because we're in this infancy stage of trying to build black media out and have, like, you know, huge conglomerate organizations where you can have news and, you know, you can, you know, report on, you know, science and different psychological efforts and war efforts and all sort of different things. All of this is important, right? And it's important the way stories are narrated. And I'll break this down on this episode of Mind to Mind with me and Steve, and we talk about the framework of journalism and man to man. But it's important because we was breaking down the framework of journalism and, like, how do you get to the different parts? What's a hit piece? What's sensationalism? What's advocate journalism or advocate media? What's unbiased news? Is it research? Right? Is the facts straight on there? Right? Did you check sources? All of these things matter, but everybody has access to media today, but everybody doesn't follow any framework of journalism. So a lot of times we get gossip, tabloid, sensationalized pieces for the point of increasing views, but the integrity of, journalism is completely missing today. So this is the thing where we have a lot of independent sources of information, right? But a lot of this information is not double checked. A lot of this information is not reviewed whatsoever, and there ain't no ethics involved in it, right? So, having sources of black media to where these frameworks are followed and you can, like, trust this to narrate, the perspectives, the facts and information about reality, which is very important that you get the actual right information, because we go into the post era of truth where people care about being emotionally triggered and actually getting factual information. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's important. It's really important. You know what I'm saying? Like, actually having the facts is 1,000%, but most people don't care about the facts. Most people only just emotionally triggered by shit. And I find that to be sick because, especially as the reason I be always talking about this AI shit, because it's like, if you don't know it, you don't even know what to look for. You don't even know when somebody fooling you, right? They got deep fakes so they can clone voices. They can create fake articles. They can create fake pictures. They can create fake AI avatars. How the hell you gonna know what's reality and what's not? So our goal is to always have these trusted sources and have the ability to critical think so we can differentiate what's real and what's false, what's emotions and what's facts, right? Otherwise, they continue to play the same old game where they can play us against each other, continue to play the same old game where they can utilize bots and build worlds around you, right? And you won't know the truth whatsoever. So, the idea of black media has to be strengthened, and we need multiple organizations as well that's black owned, not even just one. We need multiple ones. The budget for media that corporations spend towards black media is disrespectful, and a lot of times they have us fighting for those same crumbs. But the reason why you can't go to the table to negotiate a lot of times for more is because it's not a deeper level of collaboration within the culture to where people can be like, hey, we represent this large amount, right, of views and attention. So now give us the big bag, and then we will decide where the money goes. So now we want to create shows, we want to control media instead of complaining about, they not giving us this show or they not representing us right. No, we just do it ourselves. You feel me? So it's a certain type of, a game that's being played today. So for me, like I don't worry about the I don't know anything about what's going on with Diddy in real life. So that's not the conversation I'm having. The conversation I'm having is the narration around black media, right? And the opportunity that's here, but how precedents can be set, right? To where, they demonize black media because of, individuals versus the importance of us being able to control our own reality by narrating our news and our media, right? Which means that there should always be money funneling into that machine. Then watch how the game change, right? When we see agenda wars is going on and gender wars going on, right? This is low-level black media that play that out, right? And then a lot of times these are corporate white-owned sponsored dollars that's pushing that for the black medias, and they so goddamn desperate to keep getting that funding that they want to push out whatever that they can so that they can increase their views, so that they can, get dollars per view from the attention. It's important that you gotta learn to understand the game in order to play it. But it's easy to manipulate people who don't understand the rules, right? Like, I'm gonna tell you, first of all, like when you look at any article, the first thought you should think is, what do they want me to feel, right? When you read it and be like, is there opinion in this, right? It's like same thing. I watched a movie since I was a youngster. We was always taught growing up in a black Muslim household, like to think with a third eye perspective. Think from what is the agenda that the writer has, right? As they're writing the story, what part of their own, life story that they're putting in? What is their spin on the characters that they create? So I'm never watching a movie as purely entertainment because I realize that they're deciding, right, my beliefs. I'm allowing them to program my mind. I'm allowing them to set up these archetypes of these characters. And whether you think it's just entertainment or not, it's really a programming the whole time. And you just sitting there willingly paying for it. And you're super open and susceptible to it at the same time. So somebody said, what about Van Jones? Listen, bro. Van Jones ain't black media. Let's you feel me? Let's just cut that out right there. You know what I'm saying? That's bought and paid for. That man don't even worry about that. You know what I'm saying? Now I have seen some good black media going on lately, and I think that 2024 is gonna be the year where we really operationalize these things at a high level, and we able to take these things to the next level. You feel me? But it requires us, doing our due diligence, and it requires having like a what's the thing that the SAG strikers got? A union. A union. Now, Van Lathan, I rock with Van Lathan, but Van Lathan ain't Van Jones, remember that. Even when it comes to this presidential race, right? I'm going to tell you, there's the secret to the game, and y'all going to follow the game as you want to or not. The secret to the game is made by the culture. It's the secret. When you look at Is What It Is, sports show, right? How was they able to grow so fast? Because you took the same thing that you normally get, a sports show, but you juxtapose it, right? And through juxtaposition, you take something familiar, but then you add in a different type of element. So the familiarity is there, but this new element makes it unique and original, right? And by doing that and what it being made by the coaches, what is the way that we always wanted to be made if the corporate rules went in there? So it's just like watching your two homies narrate a show for you, and you like, oh yeah, how come we should have been had that? Right? So it works for that particular reason. It's a formula. I know that formula very well. We operate in that formula all the time, right? It's a success formula when you actually learn a blueprint and you learn how to make media work, right? The science of attention matters. So when you're talking about made by the culture, we get to have brand new shows. And it's like, what if we wanted to customize them so they was actually cool and it was sprinkled with some rhythm and some seasoning and some sauce on it? You feel me? And 2024 is the year you get to see the same shows that we like. You feel me? It's like when you see Jim Jones doing the weather, right? It's like, why would I always watching Bob doing the weather? Here's a strong, wind forward. I don't even want to see you on my TV, B. You know what I'm saying? Like, you want to see people on your TV you want to talk to in real life. Aspirational. So then, instead, you feel me? Somebody speaking your language. We living in the time of customization. So it's important, man, where, you know, the gatekeepers are losing their power, and as they should, and instead the money should go to those who we actually want to see. You know what I'm saying? Instead of what's forced on us as programming. So you got to fight for black media. So yeah, I mean, you know, for me, I continue to support all forms of black media because I know how important this is, and you got to be able to think bigger. All other communities know how to think bigger than moments. Right? I ain't no other community would throw away any any of their media organizations for any one person, regardless of what was happening. That's just the game. Like, y'all can talk. This ain't about no Diddy. Y'all talking about Diddy. That's what you missing the point. It's way bigger than him, and he's just in this particular conversation, right? He's just used as the focal point to get the attention, but it's bigger than him. It's about, you know, the future of media and the future of news and the future of us being able to control our agendas versus somebody else that, because I promise you, and here's the thing, go to all of these other organizations, whether they Fox, NBC, ABC, whatever the hell these news organizations are, right? I don't know what's happening in the personal lives of their CEOs or chairmen, but I know, you know what I'm saying, regardless of what be happening with them, they don't be losing no money because of it, not from sponsorships. So I like the fact that Earn Your Leisure got a show on there. You know, they ain't come get Big Keys a show, but you know, it is what it is. You feel me? It's cool. They ain't get Big Keys a show, but it's cool. They ain't cut me to check on the show, but they did have me on the stage a few times and put me on the stage, and I rock with the black people behind that. You feel me? So listen, this has been this has been your Keys Radio. I just wanted to drop that off in your ear. Black media is having a great moment. Everybody should learn journalism. You should learn how to create you know, a media operation and learn how to get money off of it. People are always going to need sources of news. People are always going to need somebody to get them perspective, right? People are going to need reviews. People are going to need all these things. There's so many different ways to make money, but the important part is have ethics while you do it. I'm 19 Keys, being on Keys Radio, man. Peace to the family.